Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned into Madden 19 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, that is a confidence builder and a trust builder on both sides. And what I mean by that is coaching staff putting together a game plan, players executing it. Now both of them are in sync.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And a glance at the man under center at 6'5". He always demands attention.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, He's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Double tight. We got three. Set. 3-19.
Now a first carry for their fullback. Open space inside the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Our eyes and attention are on the fullback. Big time carry, big yardage. But how about the guys up front, the offensive line? A lot of people think they may have to block it differently for the fullback to get big yardage. They really don't because he's big, strong, and powerful.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6, and the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And oh, it's blocked.
Yep, new just based off that delay. So if you ever want to know if a kick's going to be blocked, if he just sits there, your kicker, and then starts running, instead of just a flat run, then you know it's going to be blocked. Especially when whoever's on the block here doesn't catch a guy going all the way out.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll make this a second down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Again, zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Here we go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
I hate it when whoever's receiving the punt just runs all the way up for absolutely no reason. Next time I'm just going to let the ball roll, because that would have gotten me at the 20 at the very least.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw, and he'll be hit as he releases it.
I had to get rid of it. Can't afford a safety right now.
Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line. You know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even given up a defensive touchdown.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And an alley to run. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
I hate it when this happens.
They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. And this is going to be incomplete.
That should have been a 20-yard sack.
Now the Chiefs
This turns to a field goal, then I know that the game has got some code against me.
Here in the second quarter.
Actually, if I can. I mean, just watch this. There's no reason why he should have been running to the side and missed like that. I wasn't controlling him. I'm controlling Youngblood back here. But he just runs to the side and misses, leading me to think that there's some kind of game code going on to make this the way it is right now.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced them to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad, but let's go back out there.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 51 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And an alley to run. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Hurry up, here we go.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. To the left side, complete. That's Reese. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside and break it inside. Really well run route.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They go play action here on 1st down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. So 1:56 to play in this first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll set up a throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And that is incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy. And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
3-19. 3-19.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's caught inside the 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there.
I didn't realize Lincoln versus Chris Greer receiving touchdown. Congrats to him.
And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because You have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the number one thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go, as we saw there.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll look to throw here. And the third down pass falls incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He does have the one interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1.
Every single time.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to air one out. Oh, and that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter.
Here we go now. Green 39.
And they'll indeed take a knee. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's the Chiefs punter now. He's been terrific so far. It's taken to the 26. Whoosh. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat, and it's the Bengals who have the lead in the second quarter. The Bengals looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Bucks seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they are in a tight one, all tied with the visiting Ravens. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.